What I learned to understand as I grew is that there are two separate dimensions. There is the dimension of the physical world which crosses over into the unseen world that is unseen by the naked eye.
The essential question is, where does consciousness come from? Does it come from the brain, or does it come from another alternative source?
I saw things sitting at the bedside that were so astonishing that it made me think there is more to this than meets the eye.
I was a natural psychic as a child. My father, when he passed away, instead of him being a man of 84, he looked like a man of 24.
There's always one family member that seems to be the spokesperson between the dead and the living. And I was born to have that relationship.
The spiritualist tradition opened my eyes to recognize that there were things that went on in the afterlife that I would not have possibly believed. Because when you die and you pass out of the physical body, you're moving into the astral dimension. So instead of having a brain, you have a variety of levels of consciousness.
The newly dead are 7 times more sensitive to hearing and seeing.
There would have been a family community that still exists in spirit. They still are acknowledging that maybe if you turn to them, you might be able to get the help that you need.
So this is the ancestral continuum, which goes back 7 generations.
Sometimes the dead also need to tell their stories.
They will suddenly get this moment of, so that's what it's all about.
So these studies suggest, without doubt, and that consciousness can exist beyond the brain.
These phenomena exist as facts of nature, and science is going to have to accommodate.
The birth of a child, well supported. Marriage, well supported. Death, we don't talk about that, do we? And then you are so ill prepared when it happens. What is going to happen to you next?
Hi, I'm Desi Kadra and I'm the director of Beyond the Veil. Beyond the Veil is a feature documentary that explores what happens in life after death. For over a century, the Western materialist view that there is nothing outside of this physical reality and that our consciousness is produced only by the brain and that there's nothing past this physical veil has produced a worldwide epidemic from the fear of dying. Beyond the Veil aims to challenge this perspective and to offer a new perspective told by those who are able to communicate with the non-physical reality and with the spirit world. Beyond the Veil is unique in that it provides a glimpse into the afterlife, told from the very people who were born with the gift of being able to communicate with spirits of our deceased loved ones. Beyond the Veil aims to highlight some of the important work that is being done by psychics and mediums all over the world who are helping people who are grieving over their loved ones to once again reconnect with their loved ones who have passed away. For far too long, the psychic phenomenon has been dismissed and ridiculed by mainstream science, and it's time to put the story straight. Like many people today, I've experienced first-hand grief after losing a loved one 5 years ago. The reality is that the majority of us never truly recover from grief. We just learn to live with it. We just learn to cope with it. And for me, it wasn't really until I began to explore the spiritual side of reality and to realize that there is so much more outside of this physical perspective that my true healing began. My vision for Beyond the Veil is to spread this message all over the world and reach as many people who are also going through grief, who are also going through the suffering of losing a loved one, as well as those who are preparing to die and who are absolutely paralyzed by the fear of death that we have instilled for the last century with the idea that there's nothing past death. Beyond the Veil has been in the workings for the last 2 years and has been completely self-funded up until now. But in order to see it to completion, I will need your help. This is where you come in and you help us to spread this message all over the world by sharing it with your friends, by liking the page, and by most importantly, donating and purchasing one of the amazing rewards that will help you become part of this experience. For the next month, I will be sharing some incredible information that's come out as a result of the research of this documentary and that you can also be a part of. So please join the page, follow us, and share with everyone that you know to help us spread this message, and most importantly, help us to see it come into fruition. Thank you so much.